right. So this is part 6 of my series that was titled "If I Die Tomorrow." This would be my last video message for you. Okay. The in the description I put the links of the previous 6 parts. This the content is in a summary. If I were to die, what would I like to leave behind for my family or my daughter or for the world? Basically, something of value. And this is the kind of advice I give my clients, especially the VIPs or my students who are where they consider me as a mentor, as a father figure. And yes, it is also created for those people who cannot afford my service or who don't want to pay, but I want to give something of value. So this is part number 7. I finished 6 videos. Part number 7. Sorry. Uh, so yeah, I recommend you watch the other parts and keep this saved later. Where if in case you need to listen to it and take down notes, it's always good. Trust me, this is advice I wish someone had told me when I was a young boy. Yeah. So having said that, and by the way I uh, designed this video series is I want it to be very relaxed, no pressure to squeeze the points. Even if I finish just one point, a whole video, I don't care. All right. So having said that, let's start. Okay. Point number 88. All right. If you want to be successful, and by success, I mean achieve your dreams. All of us have a dream. I want to be a CEO. I want to be an astronaut. I want to get married and have 10 children and a nice house. So everything that is beyond your reach, what would make you happy is like a dream. And when you achieve that, you would consider yourself successful. So that's what I mean by success. So if you have to achieve your success, your dream, your goal, you cannot be normal. You cannot live a relaxed, casual life. You cannot have a balanced life. That's what I mean. You have to be super obsessed. In all my years that I've spoken to high performers, I've spoken to people who are rich. I've had the opportunity, I've been lucky, from CEOs, multimillionaires, even people from Harvard Business School, they've contacted me at some point for my service, not for their career. The Harvard Business Review, Harvard Business college student and a professor, they all had actually contacted me for an emotional problem. They wanted a perspective from someone totally different. So, um, what I realized speaking to all of them is none of them were normal or natural. Give me a second. Uh, oh, this is the beauty of having a normal conversation. It's not edited. There's something tickly that went in my nose. When you have that ticklish thing, it irritates you, man. Sorry. So yeah, uh, whenever I've spoken to these rich, successful, obnoxiously well-to-do people, I've always asked them like, how many hours do you work? Uh, what is your schedule like? What is it that you do? Take it from me. Not a single person, not one, ever told me I live a balanced life. I work 8 hours a day. I sleep 8 hours a day. I spend time with my family. Many of them literally don't get to, they stay in the same house. Okay, they stay in the same house. They work nearby. They don't get to see their own children. They don't get to see their own spouses. It's kind of crazy. Like, I wouldn't call myself exceptionally successful. I would just call myself happy. I'm a very happy guy. Oh, this thing is tickling my nose. Give me a second here. Oh, I just hate it. Hate, 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 hate. But I'm not going to switch off the camera because I want to keep it real. Ah, this is that Wix kind of thing. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, um, I was telling you about me. I don't consider myself successful. I consider myself happy. There's a difference. Success is when you want to tell people, like, "Ah, I've done it." Happy is it's a sense of joy that you feel inside. And I've been very lucky that I can do what I love. And I don't call this work. Like, I'm making this video right now. I'm not going to get paid money for this. The views, seriously, huh? The views, I'll get maybe $2, $3. I don't care. Not that I don't care of money, but I'm doing this to build my brand so that people know I can trust Loy Machedo. Even if they don't pay me money, even if they're not my client, they will know this guy with tattoos. Okay, he has a foul mouth. He has opinions, strong opinions about Israel, Palestine, Donald Trump, Narendra Modi, BJP, religions. He has a very bad checkered past. But I know for a fact that this guy will give value. And people sometimes think, if for free he gives so much value, how much more value would he give if I paid him money? So, yeah, it comes from a very sincere place. And I genuinely want to give people value. Okay. I give the best of what I can. So, uh, like I was telling you, I don't consider this work. I love what I do. In fact, I have, my video games. I've said this many times. I have my video game consoles. I have the Nintendo. See, right now I have this Nintendo 1. I have the Switch 2. They're big and small. Yeah, you can see, right? Size difference. Yeah. So I have these machines here. I have my iPads. I have all these gaming devices. It's fun. I love to play games, but I would rather make these videos than play a game because I enjoy it so much more. I enjoy the fact knowing that it helps me earn money, that gives me freedom. Like, you must have seen, no? I purchased the new Samsung Fold. It's not cheap. It's 2000 plus dollars. I was able to purchase it easily. Why? Because I'm earning, good money. All right. Because I offer value. But in order for me to have this life where I'm earning good money or a decent living, where people come to me, I don't go to anyone. I don't say, please, sir, be my customer. No, people come to me on my terms. But this has taken a lot of work. Uh, you have to really be obsessed. From the time I got up in the morning, um, I've been thinking about my videos. I've been thinking about my clients. I've been thinking about, the comments, the interactions. I've been thinking about what can I do to add more value to my brand. My wife went to the beach. She went with the baby. She called me. I said no. Even when I went to the gym, I was still talking to customers, clients, finding out what adds value to them, what are the challenges they face. I'm literally obsessed about my work. And right now it is, 7:30. So I'll show you. It's evening 7:30. So from the time I got up, which was I think 10 or 11, until now, I'm just thinking about work. I and I told you I don't consider this work, but there's a lot of effort put, and I'm going to continue doing this until I sleep. And mind you, I stay in the same house as my kid who is outside and my wife. Even though I stay in the same house, I'm still not interacting with them, still not meeting with them. I'm here in my den, in my studio. So you cannot be successful if you are going to have a normal life. I can assure you that. I can challenge you. That is why there are quite a number of people who, despite being married, uh, the rich people, they have broken marriages. Why? Because the wife expects a lot of things, the kid expects a lot of things. You can't. That's why very successful people, their marriages are normally broken, or they are single, or like Leonardo DiCaprio, they just don't want to be held down. I'm not recommending that you live that life. Okay, but I'm just trying to make you understand. That is why it is very important, if you want to be successful, get a marriage partner whose expectations are low and who's easy to maintain, not just in terms of money, but in terms of, they'll demand, can you spend time with me? How many girls who I could get married to, very nice, very beautiful, very loving, but they are their demands. I want you to come with me to the beach. I want you to come with me outside. Let's go eat in this restaurant. Let's go watch this movie. For me, time is the most valuable thing. I cannot divert my attention from my work. So, point number 88 is successful people are never normal. Successful people cannot have a balanced life, and successful people cannot be normal by any stretch of the imagination. Number 89, creative minds are a mess. You must have heard that, right? If you're creative, everything will be messy. Like right now, you can't see it, but everything is a mess. Like there is stuff here, there is stuff here, there is. If I were to clean everything, it'll take maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour. But I can assure you, within a few hours, again, it's going to be a mess. But before you get tempted to make your desk a mess and tell yourself, oh, see, even I'm creative. I used to actually do that, huh? Seriously, I used to think that, okay, creative people are a mess, so I'll make a mess so I get creative. I used to actually think like that. It doesn't work that way. And neither should you be complacent where if your desk is a mess, if your area is a mess, you should say, oh, I'm creative. No, this part will surprise you. My desktop, it's my workstation. There are multiple folders, multiple videos, multiple Google Docs, multiple everything per day. Okay, per day. Sometimes I delete more than 200 to 500 GB of videos, audio, documents, images, pictures per day. Okay, let that sink in. Now, just imagine if I didn't clean up my desktop now, I can't focus clearly. You have to keep everything in order, whether it's your phone, whether it's your keyboard, whether it is your microphone or your note taking app or your pencil. You have to clean everything. First is clean. You have to really clean it. I use, what is that? I use this alcohol. Okay, you can use anything to clean with a towel. I clean it spick and span. Sometimes my keyboard, when I hammer it down, breadcrumbs and this and that is just there because I eat here only. So I clean it. Sometimes I do it before I sleep and then after getting up, or sometimes I do it after waking up. After I clean, everything smells like literally like as if it's a hospital, Once everything is done, then the workstation, remember your computer and your phone, you have to clean and delete. Like even my WhatsApp, sometimes I'm bombarded. Just imagine in a given day sometimes. uh, I get over 1,600 messages, emails, notifications. It's crazy, man. Facebook, Instagram, this, that. So if I don't clear it up and sort it out, I'll not be able to find it. Have you ever had, oh, I purchased this connection. Where is that wire? And then you start searching the whole house. For me, it's more or less like that. I have a lot of stuff. I have to keep things properly. And, like you remember this nose, I was having something tickly in my nose. It's dust. If I don't clear my place, there will be dust flying around. And trust me when I say this, the last thing you need is some dust particle gone into your nostril. And then for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour, you're just sneezing and blowing your nose. And for me, I need to make a video. So, and in fact, if you notice, even though I sneezed and all that, back of my head, one side of the mind was saying, "Oh, stop the video and clear up your nose." It was disturbing me, but I know for a fact if I stop the video, I lose my flow. So, so it's very important to make sure everything is clean, kept in place, is tidy, and once in a while do some deep cleaning. When I talk of deep cleaning, I remove everything from the wires to the computer to the speakers clean all the dust. Oh my goodness, the amount of dust, the amount of dirt. And you'll even discover cables, pens, pencils, connections, connectors, stuff that you never even thought about, you'll discover. So it's very important. And then I sort out everything, keep everything in proper boxes. That's maybe once in 2, 3 months. So yeah. So the point number 89 is creative minds are a mess. Yes, because when you get an idea, you automatically want to capitalize on that idea. But on the other hand, uh, just because you're messy does not excuse yourself. You have to keep things in order. I think the best example I can give you here is Toyota. Go to their service center. Okay, go to the Toyota service center. They'll write in big bold letters. This is globally. Yeah? Everything has its place. Everything has its right place. And they have another quote: if you do it right the first time, okay, it should be done right the first time, every time. Because you don't do it right the first time, it'll come back to you, then it'll give you a bigger headache. And I'll tell you, I've always been amazed at the Toyota workstation or a service center. Every tool is kept in its rightful place, and it's polished and it's cleaned properly. You want to be inspired, watch the documentary Noma, Noma. I watched it when I was in a flight business trip. I've spoken about this in my previous video. What impressed me about that food documentary, see if you can get it. It's very hard. One was Noma, one was shrimp, ants on a shrimp, ants on a shrimp. It's a food documentary. When that guy is cleaning, the chef, after he's serving food, when the day is over, when they're cleaning, is, think, for example, I'll show you. Think this is his table, metal table where he cuts and cleans. He literally takes, I don't know, cleaning this thing, and he's putting his face like this, and he's looking at it like, I know this sounds exaggerated, but he wants to make sure it is so clean. Even their knives, their cooking equipment, they make sure it is perfect. There's not a iota of grease. Just imagine you in a kitchen. That is how perfect. Now, obviously, I can't do that here, especially when you have a kid and a wife. It's impossible. If I was alone, I could do it. But where you can control your environment, do that. Keep everything in place. Keep it tidy. It is so important, man. I can't stress this enough. So, point number 89 is creative minds are a mess, but without order, you can never succeed. Um, I will just share with you. There's this bugging thought which I want to give you. You remember point 88? I said successful people are never normal. Okay, I will just add this point number 90. Obsession with work. Point number 90, obsession with work. For those of you who have followed my YouTube channel or the video content for years and years, you know this example. Let me just put my leg up here. Let me relax. Okay. This is an example that I gave, a true story. True story. I think the name of the company was Jurassic Technologies. It's no longer there. The owner, I think, got cheated of all his money, or he filed for bankruptcy. I don't know what is the actual story, but it was a rags to riches company, Jurassic Technologies, based in Dubai. I bumped into this guy when I gave a talk at I think it was all the computer business people who had computers, networking companies, service companies. So they had invited me, or rather, I had pitched in, and they invited me to speak on why personal branding is important. Okay. Initially, when I walked on stage with my tattoos, black shirt, jeans, I like to dress up a little bit like Steve Jobs. I like that. It was just a fascination. And I was the only one not wearing a suit. All were Indian businessmen. This is in Dubai how many years ago? I'm 48 right now. It was the age of 36, so nearly 12 years ago. I was in Dubai. I think the number of attendees were kind of 500 people. Yeah, all business people, all of them. So here's the bit that was slightly bad news for me, at least. They put me just before lunch. Okay, and when you're talking of Indian businessmen and Indians, and they are aware that food is being served, their mind is not going to be on the presentation. Their mind is going to be on the food. They would want to leave immediately. And it was so bad that outside, when they were preparing the buffet, you could hear the clickety clack of um, the plates, the fork, the knife. You could hear people moving. So it was a terrible time for me to speak. But then again, being a professional speaker, I just know that I have to manage no matter what. So the only thing stopping from people eating their afternoon food, all you can eat buffet, was Loy Machedo. So, and when they called me up to speak, before this, people, normally use PowerPoint presentation and they make it very boring. So people are already tired and, they just wanted a break. So I was called in to speak before the food. I think I was given 45 minutes in total. Okay, 45 minutes to 1 hour. Can't remember. However, after I went up on stage, first people were talking, nobody was bothered. Everyone, who's this tattooed guy and all that bullshit. But once after I started to speak slowly, after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I think by the time 15 minutes went in, everybody was silent. Everybody was paying attention to me. Okay? Everyone. And I also made a funny comment and I told people the only thing standing between you and lunch is me. Everyone burst out laughing. I think that made them realize, okay, this guy has a sense of awareness. And I told them, I'll try to keep it as interesting as possible so that you don't get bored. Okay? I let them know this. And I even told them, see, listen, even though I'm supposed to speak for 45 minutes to 1 hour, I'll keep it down to 30 minutes. I'll just give you the creme de la creme. And after that, I'll leave it open for questions. You can go for your lunch that time. You don't have to wait in the Q&A. I told them honestly. To my surprise, I would say it's not only humbling, but it's also, they were gracious. I finished my presentation in 25 minutes. And then I told people, now it's going to be the Q&A. You can leave if you want for lunch. I don't know, maybe the Indians were shy or something. They didn't leave. I guess some people wanted to get up, but when they saw nobody leaving, they didn't get up. And the Q&A followed and I started answering. It was only after, I think, 15, 20 minutes, some people started to get up and leave, but majority of the people were actually sitting for the Q&A. And after it finished, once again, I thought that people would leave. But then to my surprise, they all came to speak to me. Okay, now I know you must be wondering, so what is the point? What are you trying to say? Just enjoy, go with the flow. Okay. So after they came to speak to me, one guy was very big, huge guy, plump, fat, as you would call it. I think he was 55 or going to be 60 years old. And he was, I didn't know who he was. And he said, straight away, he asked me when I was standing surrounded by all these business people, how can you add value to my brand? What can you suggest? What can you recommend? I don't know exactly what my answer was, but I did give him some answers. And then he said, why don't you meet me in my office and let's talk? So it turned out I didn't know that he was a CEO, the owner, the founder of Jurassic Technologies. And their logo was, Jurassic Park, no, the dinosaur. He had that, the skeleton of the T-Rex. He would have got sued if he was in US anyway. So, and he had recommended that I be the brand ambassador at the name of the event is DISTREE, Distree. Distree is one of those conferences where you cannot visit even if you have the money. It is strictly invitation based. Okay, I don't know now if they have commercialized it, but it was strictly invitation based. And after getting the invitation, then you can pay the money. It's not for free. It's not for anyone can come in. It's only strictly you have to pre-qualify on certain parameters. So he is to take part. He is to put money, sponsor. And there were many of his competitors also who are coming there. So this time, where other competitors were taking, beautiful girls and hot girls and, girls from China, Korea, Japan, and they would bring white skin guys. Some would even bring not hardcore celebrities like Shah Rukh Khan or anything like that, but they would bring famous people, radio jockeys and all that. So Jurassic took me, which was a very odd choice, a tattooed guy, and I put the shirt branding. You'll not believe what followed was supposed to be 3 days of exhibition, not exhibition, conference, 3 days. He asked me to meet him at his office, and they said I would leave my car there, and then they would drive me from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, which is like 150 kilometers far, the venue. So I was to stay in Sharjah, which was another additional, I think, 60 kilometers, 60 or 30 or 40, whatever. So I told him, fine, I will come there on this particular day. Then we will go to Abu Dhabi, and there they will book a hotel room where I'll be there for 3 days. So I took my stuff and everything else packing. I woke up at around 3 o'clock on the particular date. I was supposed to meet him at 6. I landed there at 5, 5:30, waited. Sharp 6. The guy was on the dot. His vehicle came. He had a Lexus full options, that big ass vehicle, like a 4-wheel drive Lexus, not the sporty car. Big ass car. And he came there and he said, Loy, ready? On the dot, on time. Yeah. I went and sat. He made me sit in the front, not front seat. Did he make me sit on the front seat? No, no, no. He didn't make me sit on front. Front was the driver. Next was him. Okay. And I was sitting like, I think I was sitting diagonally so I could communicate with him. And he had his secretary, main, and his secretary had his secretary, and there was another employee. So he had almost like 3 secretaries. And first is him and the driver, then is we people, then behind was somebody else. Okay. And behind was all the stuff that they had to keep. And they had around like 4, 5 vehicles of this size. We started off at 6. And throughout I think it took us around 2.5, 3 hours. Throughout those 3 hours, he was talking and dictating notes to the secretary. This meeting, this person, this call, that call, this presentation. He kept talking about the event and meetings, and he was giving instructions. And he was telling me also, okay, fine. After he reached the venue, he got off because he was staying at the venue. We were staying at a smaller hotel, which was slightly cheaper but closer. So he got off there. We reached at around, I think, 9-ish. Okay. First day, the event, I think, started at 9. It would start officially at 10. So we reached there by 9. We went to get fresh. And by the time we came there before 10, he was already networking with people. And we had tea and snacks. And then it went on all the way till 12 after they opened the event. From 12 to 3 was the first slot. And at every slot, you have, for example, 3 hours. Say 12. 1, 2, 3. Say 3 hours. So each one will be roughly 45 minutes or something. And you have to book a meeting room. And each meeting, you have to meet with a specific supplier from a specific country. Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, India, wherever, USA. Okay. So he had one meeting for 45, 50 minutes. Then there's a break for 5 minutes, tea break, whatever. Then there's a 45-minute, 50-minute meeting. Then the third one. And then it's, because we finished lunch, it's tea, tea, coffee, whatever. snacks, croissants. Okay. Then from 4 o'clock, once again, 3 hours. It'll go all the way to three. Okay, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6, 7, whatever. And then after those, again, three meetings of 45 minutes to 1 hour each, then there is tea, coffee, snacks. After that, they allow you to go to your hotel, your apartment, flat, wherever, and will be the dinner networking event, which is another 3 hours non-stop. There they'll serve the buffet, they'll serve alcohol, all you can drink, and you can interact. Let me tell you, it's not at all fun. It is so much of, you get fed up, yeah. Like, initial excitement was there. Oh, there is food, there is alcohol, there is people. By the time the buffet was over, the dinner was over, it was nearly 12. Now, mind you, keep 11 or 12 in the night. And I was exhausted. This guy was still meeting with people, I think from Turkey, a new delegation, all that, and they are drinking and talking. And like, I was like wondering, when is this guy going to sleep? The CEO, the secretary, and all that. I thought, okay, I'll go to sleep because I have a day tomorrow and it starts earlier. Okay, it starts from 8. So I went. When I came back the following day, the guy was again awake. He was there before all of us. And I just inquired with other people, what time did this guy go to sleep? Remember, we left at 11 or 12. This guy went to sleep at around 3 or 4 in the morning after all the meetings. Okay. He hardly slept, I think, 4 hours, 5 hours, or whatever time. And he was ready for meetings again. Once again, when they were having their tea, coffee, breakfast with croissants, whatever, he is again networking. And then the three, I told 45 minutes each session, 3 different meetings. And then comes lunch, once again in meetings, then 3 meetings, then break. This went on for the second day. And the second day, once again, booze and, in the night time with entertainment. I was tired. I'm telling you, really, I was tired. But this guy is still networking. This time I wanted to see how long they'll sit, just out of curiosity. By the time it was 1 o'clock, my eyes were like this. I was like, no, man, I need to go. Yet these guys went up to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. That is day 2. This once again went on day 3. By the time it was day 3, I was fed up. Trust me, I couldn't take it anymore. I just wanted to go home when the day 3 started. Because there's only so much of hotel food you can eat. And, initially it was fun. Okay, there is chicken and there's beef and there's continental and there's Chinese and there's French, and you get fed up. Yeah. By the third day, I was spent. Third day, I was just imagine, it is supposed to be a holiday. It's supposed to be fun for me, but I'm fed up. After third day, I was like, finally glad it's over. And the day number 4 is where it would be a half day. It would go off very fast. We finished day number 4, which went off rather quickly, but I was tired and exhausted. I was just waiting to drive home. So it finished at around, I think, 1 o'clock. By the time everyone started to leave, around 2. And once again, those vehicles, the valet will bring, and we have to unpack everything and sit. And the events company would take care of the stage and everything else that we had set up, okay, for our particular stall. So I sat, once again, driver, the CEO, secretaries, and me. And now we have to head back from Abu Dhabi to Dubai, where my car would be parked outside his, company. As we are driving back, I thought he would relax. I thought he would be talking, joking, just put your hair down kind of thing. To my shock and surprise, this guy is still giving notes, dictation, email. Okay, write this email, type it out. Like she's busy typing and this and that. Okay. And I just kept quiet. We stopped in between at an ADNOC petrol station to take some cookies and, donuts and sandwich, whatever. And then out of curiosity, I just asked him, I said, sir, Mr. whatever, I don't remember what I called him. aren't you tired? Really, I asked him, aren't you tired? You know, like you've been working like nonstop, like he laughed. He's like, tired for what? I said, no, you've been working nonstop. You hardly sleep 4 5 hours. He's saying, no, I love this. Oh, I just love this. This is my life. I said, okay. I just kept quiet. I didn't think much about it. So we took our tea, coffee, whatever, donuts, and came and sat in the vehicle. And not being happy with the answer, I just said, can I just ask you another question? He said, go ahead, go ahead. Because by this time we kind of got friendly with each other. So as we are going down, I said, so you must be uh, lucky that you can at least now spend time with your wife and kids, because I knew that he had wife and children. I didn't know who they were. He said, what wife and kids, boss? He was laughing. And I said, why aren't you going to go home after this? He said, no, I've already booked, I have flights to go to all these clients who he met. I have to go to Malaysia, then Hong Kong, then Singapore, then China, then this and that and that. And that. He said, I have back-to-back travel schedule. He's saying, I'm going to be busy for the next 3 months. I was like, you're going to be busy for the next 3 months? Yeah, yeah. He's saying, every country I'm going to be there 3 days, 4 days, and then I'm going to go next one, and then 3 4 days, next one. And then maybe there's an exhibition in China. I have to go there, and Hong Kong. There's a conference there. There's a meeting of the committee members of this and that, and then there's a board meeting where I'm also uh, nominated for this, and then there is a place where they've asked me to kind of a organization to be honorary member. I was listening to him. I was like, man, when does this guy take a break? So then after listening to all this, I said, so when did you last see your wife and kid? You know what he told me? He's saying it has been 2 years. I said, they stay with you or they stay in a different country? No, they stay with me. They stay with me in the same house. And I said, you just said that you have not seen them from 2 years. Yeah, by see means I can see them. Hi, how are you? This and that. Yeah. I don't have time to spend. Now I know you who's watching will be like, man, that is not a life worth living. I agree. I agree. You're right where you are. But I wanted to give you a perspective of a businessman and how he works. He has literally his calendar, like I could see, when that female was typing. His whole bloody calendar for, I think, 6 months is travel, this, connecting flights, stay here, that. It's like, what the hell is this, man? He doesn't, if he'll go to one exhibition, then he'll be invited as a guest to another, and third one is where he'll be, being featured there, and fourth is where he'll receive an award, and fifth one is where he'll give a presentation, and then he'll go check out new products, new services, improve on the existing catalog, and then they'll busy be telling him on the forecast for the business, what is the plan for next year. I'll tell you, it was at that time I realized, bloody hell, man, to be rich, to be successful, you cannot be normal. You have to be obsessed here. And I'll tell you, he was just he just loved to work. Nobody had to tell him to work. You can say, yeah, it's his own business. He's his own boss. But man, the way he was working, I lasted. I was like in my 30s. He's in his 60s. I was not able to last for more than 3 days. I'll tell you, it was there I realized, it's easy to talk about success, money, fame, all that stuff. Very hard to do. Very hard to do. And yes, he travels first class. Yes, he's super rich. Yes, it is. But he works his ass off here. And that is why my respect for rich people, business people, just jump hundredfold. And you can see this, whether it's in India, you'll see, especially Keralites, the way they study. Like I remember this girls' hostel, like we used to walk, in Mangalore. There's a girls' hostel, which is only for girls, and, you can't enter there. When I was passing by, At the balcony, you'll hear people murmuring at around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night. And one day I casually asked this guy, like, what they're doing, praying or what? He's saying, no, they're studying. They're studying what, 3 o'clock night? Saying, yeah, they want to be doctors, nurses, medical exam. And I'll tell you, it's not like 1 day or 2 day, and it's not like before the exam. They do it from day one. They literally study like 16, 18 hours a day. College, they study, then they come back home and they're studying. And then they go for extra classes and they're also studying. That's the kind of obsession. That is why in India, government exams, what is the difference between people who get seats versus not? 99.99. Mind you, 99.99. There'll be maybe 1,000 or 2,000 students. Then 99.98. There'll be another 2,000 students. 99.97. And there are people who, just because they got 99.95, 99 out of 100, that perfect their papers are. Just because they got 99.95, they didn't get the admission. Why? Because they said, you are 0.01 mark less. Let that sink in. Anyway, what I want to tell you is, if you want to succeed in life, you have to love your work. There's no balance. You have to be obsessed. You have to be mad. For me also, I'm the same. I love my work. And trust me, I don't consider this work. I love what I do. I love, seriously. No regrets. It's not that I don't enjoy. Yes, after this, I'll be eating a nice meal, watching a movie, maybe playing some video game for some time, but I'll go back to work. Because that to me is my life. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this session. This is part number 7. I only covered, I think, hardly 2 or 3 points. As usual, my only request to you is, sincerely, if you watch the whole video, please comment down below. That's the only thing I ask of you. I don't want payment. I don't want anything. Just comment down below. Yes, I watched the whole video. If you have watched, and would you be interested or keen to watch part number 7? No, this is 7, part number 8. Would you be interested? That's all I ask of you. If you can, it would mean a lot. And yeah, please do bookmark these videos and watch them when you're free, because they'll really help you. All right. Anyway, before I conclude, see the fun. First video, first time was 2,346 views. Next one was 1,205. Third one, 968. 737. Then jumped to 930. Last one was 369, lowest. It doesn't matter. This I'm not doing it for my benefit. I'm doing it for you guys. So if it helps you, it helps you. It doesn't help you, fine. All right, you guys take care. Appreciate your feedback. And let's hope I complete this series. I don't know how many more videos. You guys take care. All right. Ciao, guys.